Recording. Yeah, I don't know if that helps. You got a lot of people. I have 36 people said they were going to make the call today. So let me see.
I saw a lot responded.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see that.
Hi, we just added somebody to the call. Who's this? Are you there?
Hi, I'm Janet from Ireland.
Oh, hi, Janet. Okay, now I'll put your name down. Janet.
I don't know what happened there because usually my name comes up.
It's okay, no big deal. There you
And
go.
my photograph too.
Picture.
And I'm
Yeah.
so pretty.
Video's not started yet.
Yeah, I just got a call from the gentleman that's supposed to do the show with me today, and he's running a bit late. So I figured we can all talk with one another and get to know one another a little bit in the meantime. I could do my little introduction, but I'm just I'm waiting for more people to join in the call. Me, Barbara, and Julie are on every week. We're always on the calls together.
We're family, we're furniture.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the organization. Maybe you could tell me.
Well, we started in April 2004. We do brain injury support brain injury support includes any kind of neurological impairments, including like hydrocephalus, MS, stroke, aphasia, things like that come along with neurological issues. Pretty open that. A lot of us are, most of us are survivors. Some of us have a strong medical background in different areas. So we have the experience as it comes along.
Sorry, you're a bit fuzzy. The connection is bad.
Yeah, you're going in and out, Michael.
Oh, okay. Maybe, you know
It's
what?
like an echo,
Yeah,
but it's a Dalek echo.
yeah, the volume's too high. Let me turn it down a little bit. Okay, it should be better now. So, yeah, we do services for people associated with brain injuries and neurological impairments.
It's still the same.
Oh, it's echoing on Julie's end. Julie, can you turn the volume down on your speakers?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Thank
How's
you.
that?
Okay, well, it should be good when I talk. Yeah, now it's not doing it.
Okay.
Should I give it another shot?
Yeah, do again.
I said since April 2004.
It's still doing it.
Yeah, it's doing it again. Why is it echoing?
It doesn't matter. It's okay.
Okay. Usually when somebody has a speaker on, it's picking up. Oh, you know what? It's showing up that it's coming up on you, on your end.
Oh,
Your speakers.
okay. I'll turn me off then. I'm mute.
Okay. There we go. It happens. We've been doing this so long. We've been doing this since April 2004, and we help out with people with neurological impairments and brain injuries. But we also do like for caregivers, loved ones, public education, and support for survivors. So we open the door for everybody to get involved and help one another. Am I still echoing?
Yes. So
really,
it's not me.
I have no idea why.
It's
Because
because I'm here.
I hear it.
Have you got a phone on or something?
Now, even when you were muted, I still heard it. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
where it's coming from. So the gentleman that was supposed to be on the call with us today told me that he's running an hour behind. He's in California. So I don't know. I told him, all right, so I'm going to try and buy some time until he joins in on the call. See what he says. I wish I knew why this echo was happening. I could try and figure this out in the meantime.
Question, are we going to wait an hour?
We might, well, if you can't, I understand why. I had no idea this was going to happen until just now.
Sure, no problem. Barb, it's lovely to meet you, and you too, Julie.
Thank you.
Michael, Michael, keep in touch. It's 5 o'clock here. I haven't eaten, so I'm going to do that.
Okay, all right.
And in an hour, I'll come back then. Is that okay?
Of course, absolutely.
Sure. Okay, that's brilliant.
Thank you,
I'll
Jen.
talk to you then.
Okay.
All right,
Janet.
bye-bye.
Bye, Janet.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Susan.
Hi.
I'm keep hearing about this echo. Let me see when Janet signs off.
Wait a minute.
I don't hear an echo.
I can't sign off. I don't know how.
Let me see if I could.
Yeah.
Let's see. Participants. Let me see what I can do here.
Where's the button normally for? Is it in the chat? No, it's not in the chat.
No.
Live trans restrictions.
Let me see if I put you in the waiting room if it helps.
Or did Janet leave? What happened?
Oh, she said she had to go. She couldn't leave. She didn't know how to do it. So I don't want to do it because once I remove her, then she's not going to be allowed on the calls later on. And I want her to join back in. So.
I missed
Hi,
my
Lynn.
wife, so.
Well, I'm
Hi,
not.
everybody.
Hi,
Hi,
Lynn.
Lynn.
I'm
I'm-
on my phone. I'm trying to connect with the computer now instead of my phone.
All
My
right.
computer was giving me problems.
All right. I'll add you now.
Okay.
Oh, see.
Recording in progress.
You got to log off one instead of one of the two.
Michael, do you hear an echo now?
Okay.
No, I don't.
Oh. Oh. I hear an echo, but I got a ton of feedback.
Well, that time you did because Lynn had me on 2 devices.
I changed it now.
I know. I see.
Tell me if you hear an echo. I might know what it is.
No, there's no echo anymore.
Oh my God. I know what it is, I think.
No, it's fine. There's no echo now.
I know, but I know why you had the echo, maybe.
Why? You had your phone?
No, because it's crazy. Hal has this box, and when the batteries are in it, it goes, let me out of here. And I'm trying to get it to work. So I had it on the table, and it was shaking. So that might have been your echo.
No, it was happening before you even got on the call, Susan.
Oh,
Yeah.
and now I retract my statement.
So yeah, the gentleman that was supposed to be here with us on the call just emailed me and told me he's going to be an hour late.
Oh, okay.
So I just emailed him back.
Well,
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how many people join in on the call. I mean, we know all of us, so it's not that big a deal.
it's on just me, you, Barb, and what was it? Just gonna call you Jackie. Julie.
I'd answered.
Here's the J, she'll answer.
Yeah. I'll answer to hey you.
I've been really nutsy lately, so this is par for the course.
Are you gonna be on next Thursday, Michael?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing anything for Thanksgiving, but I
Well,
figured people are going to be busy and hanging out with their families and stuff.
well, hopefully next week we're moving, I hope.
Good.
What was that?
There's a notification, probably on Michael's phone.
Yeah.
Maybe
Uh-oh.
we're fine.
Jennifer, another new person.
Oh, she's on?
She's going to see her.
Good.
Mm. Hi, Jennifer. I see you're muted. I'm hearing an echo, and I'm hearing it from Susan now.
Hi there.
Hi.
I hear it too.
I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to mute everybody and see if it stops. Okay. Jennifer, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. See, I'm not hearing the echo now. So it's got to be on somebody's side. Anyway, yeah, we all know each other. You're new here, Jennifer. We're always on the call every week when we do these calls. So we all know one another. The gentleman that was supposed to join us as a guest, he said he's running an hour late. So we're all here just to chit chat and get to know one another. And if you have any questions, you can ask. We've been doing these for 18 years every week. Almost every week for 18 years, almost 18 years. And but we used to do them on, well, started off on MySpace, and we were doing them, of course, here on, through Facebook. And but we had them on Skype originally, but there's so much more functionality here with Zoom. So the past, I guess, 5 years, we've been doing the Zoom calls long before anybody knew who Zoom was.
Yes.
Funny thing is how, I mean, Susan, and especially, well, Susan, Barb, and Julie will tell you, so many people are like, I don't know what Zoom is. I'm not putting that on my phone. And now it's like everybody and their mother has Zoom. I guess that's one benefit from COVID.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Where are you at, Jennifer? Where are you located?
I'm in Rossville, Georgia.
Oh, okay. I have family I still have family in Georgia. My great aunt, my grandmother's sister, and her family all lived there. But she had passed away, but she still had a number of kids. Alberton, that's where it was. Alberta. Yeah.
I'm right at the Tennessee and Georgia line.
Oh, okay. You're north. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Well, you're kind of northwest. Georgia. I know. I have like a GPS in my head. I love to drive and I love to travel and stuff. So I remember a lot of it. All right, I'm going to try. Let me see something. We're playing around with this because for some reason we were getting a lot of feedback before. So I'm going to unmute each one person at a time, and I'm going to see where the echo's coming from because now I don't hear it. Okay, ask to unmute. Okay, Susan, you're being asked first. Okay, let me try. Okay, see, I'm not hearing anything. That's good. It's one down. Okay. Okay. Let me try Lynn. Ask to unmute. Please approve. I'm asking nicely.
There. It takes me a while.
It's okay. It's okay. We're just, well, you hear me. Everybody hears my big mouth. All right. Okay. It's okay now. All right. Everybody keep their fingers crossed. I'm going to do Julie now. Okay. Ask to unmute. Okay, Julie. You should see a little pop-up window that says, Michael asked you to unmute.
Unmute. Okay.
All right, cool. Let's see. I hear myself.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm going to sing a song for everybody. Yep, see? Right there, I heard myself.
I hear it too.
Give me crack corn and I don't care. That's what I was going to say. All right. All right, Jen, I wanted to ask you, because, we all know each other, and you can ask any of us questions. What brings you into the brain injury community with us?
Well, I'm a survivor, and I just kind of just ran up on this.
Congratulations. We're all here together.
Yeah.
All of us are survivors.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so
Welcome to the
much.
family. We had a lady that was on before. She's going to be joining in later. She's in Ireland. And I can't wait to talk to her because I have family there in Scotland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That would be neat.
Yes. So,
Michael, it says I can't start my video because you disabled it.
I disabled you.
Yeah, my video.
Wait, let me see what I can do.
You can't see me.
I can't see me.
Oh, wait.
There you go. I had to ask to bring you back.
Here we go. There.
I'll let you know, Jennifer. Usually these are very laid back. We just have fun on the call. But this is a business and we have topics and stuff. So there's going to be part of this presentation that I'm doing, I'm going to read because some people have difficulty with the reading part of it. So I'm going to read it out loud. But we're going to go over like the common rules of the calls, what it's about, who we are, and things like that as well.
Okay.
Yes. But right now, I don't know, we're following time because this guy told me he's going to be an hour late. So and I'm like, well, we can chit chat with one another and talk about anything for that matter, I guess. We usually introduce ourselves, who we are, where we're from, our experiences, things like that. It's funny because I did away with us having small talk conversations all the time. And now with this guy, I have to have it. So. So how long ago, Jennifer, did you have your brain injury? Mine was 18 years ago.
Well, mine was in 2005.
Oh, we're close. Okay.
Yeah.
2004 or 2003 rather. How did you have it?
Well, I was in a relationship, and well, after like 15 times of me prosecuting him, it was domestic violence and stalking. But he crushed both sides of my head.
Oh, wow. Domestic. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I didn't know. I waited like 12 hours later and walked into the hospital, but I was life forced out of it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I had a head injury at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because a lot of time it's misdiagnosed or people think, oh, I'm just dizzy. It hurts. That's it. But
I had an earache and my ears started bleeding. So it was taking me home. And an earache's kind of like a toothache to me. So it was emergency room that was pretty quick. So I was just going to run in and run out,
Yeah.
And the next thing I knew, they just wanted me to tell who done it, and because I wasn't going to live to get to the hospital. So
Yeah, that's a brain bleed. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I waited like 12 hours before I even went.
Sometimes it's just the symptoms of like a concussion, and people are finally starting to open their eyes about that. But when you started talking about your ear bleeding, I'm like, whoa, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I had but they told me both sides, was just all crushed up. And I had told them not to do surgery, and because there was really no point, and they agreed. My mother overrode that though. And so here I am.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that you're here with us. Unfortunately, we've been doing this for so long. There's a few people that have been on our calls. I don't mention names out of respect for other people, their privacy. But there's been a few people that had severe brain injuries from domestic abuse several times. I know people that had happened 8 or 10 times, and that's what contributed to their brain injuries and the things that they still have legal issues with, because they think that it's made up or they're telling stories and things like that, because it was never reported to the police when it actually happened. But it could have been 20 or 30 years ago, and people knew nothing about brain injuries like they do now. It's an honest to God shame. And I have a personal, how do you put it? A personal gripe with people, especially men that abuse women. There's nothing that boils my blood more than that. Because I've been witness to it. I've seen it happen. And when I got older, there's a few men in this, there's a few men that are dealing with the effects of me seeing what they were doing to their girlfriends or wives or whatever. I don't stand for that. And
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
I used to think that if a woman hit a man first, it was fair game. I don't anymore. It's not right.
No. When you look at as a man, like the strength of a male in comparison to a woman, right there and then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, here's just a fact, a medical fact. It only takes 15 pounds of pressure to break a bone on somebody. That's nothing. That's nothing. And you're talking about a man who could easily throw around 50 pounds of weight. That's huge. You know?
Yeah, and if it's a big guy, it's just.
Yeah, it's even more, right? Oh my God, that gets under my skin so
Yeah.
bad.
What's bad is I prosecuted every time and it was like 15 times. But I mean, and he never done a day. And I mean, and he tried really, and even like the anger management. But then the police would call me for him. The anger management guy would call me for him and stuff like that. So I mean, his personality, he was very convincing, and so yeah, they would call me for him. So
Yeah, probably
they
he was
really
a
didn't
charmer.
protect me.
He knew how to play the system. That's what that is.
Yes. God took care of it though. He went to Florida where it was another prison sentence that he was wanted for. And then actually he developed, it was a rare brain cancer
Okay.
that in the same sections where I had my damage. But I mean, I feel bad for that because I hate for anybody. I don't wish bad on anybody.
Yeah,
But
but that's karma.
it was exactly where the regions that took from me.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean, some of you know my personal business with that kind of stuff. And I know somebody who has brain cancer now, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody, just like you said. But you know what? When you're deceitful and you lie and you're abusive, it does come back to bite you in the ass. It
Yeah.
does. It does. I went 25 years of doing EMS work, and I never had a patient ever die on me when I was doing first aid, ever. And then when I had my accident, I went into cardiac arrest 6 times in 24 hours. My family said, God kept you here for something more, Mike. And I was like, you know what? Whatever you believe in, maybe I was, it's what comes around goes around, all those little phrases and stuff and beliefs. But I know since I was a child, I've always tried to do my best to help out other people. And it does have a way of coming back, to you, like whatever it is you believe in.
Well, it's like Michael and I were both in the medical field before our accidents.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why we were safe because we were very good to the people that we treated.
Yeah. Yep. Susan, you doing okay?
yeah. I'm just trying to balance my phone.
Oh, yeah, I see you playing with it a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm trying to find something heavy to do so.
I'm gonna get you a little phone cradle that you could sit up and hold your phone on. They're fairly inexpensive. Actually, you know what? If they have these little trays that hold business cards, you could use one of those.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll look and see if I can find one at the dollar store and I'll give it to you.
I have a little kickstand on my phone and
Yeah.
it just sits there.
See mine? I have this thing that holds like my wallet and my ID and all that.
I have that too.
And I use that as a prop like this to hold it up.
Yeah.
Well, that box stopped shaking. And then another Phillips head.
Phillips head.
Yeah, Phillips head screwdriver.
Okay.
Because bad. Yeah. Well, I gotta constantly keep myself busy.
Yeah. Does everybody know what's going on, Susan? Did you talk to them about it?
Just you.
Oh, okay.
I've been busy texting everyone. I got text hand now.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like those of us that are on the call. I don't know. I know you talk to Barbara sometimes and stuff too. And June.
Hal passed away.
Yeah, Hal
last-
passed away.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna disclose, but I figured it's us. We all know each other.
well,
And Jennifer doesn't know, but Susan and Hal and I were all friends, and Susan knew Hal for a long time, and she was taking care of him, and his health was kind of falling apart on him, and he was in hospice, and he had passed away.
Wait.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry.
I believe it started off when he had COVID, but he didn't have COVID for like a month.
Yeah,
But on the death certificate, it said cause of death, respiratory failure. Duh. Yeah, he stopped breathing.
yeah,
But I believe the COVID made everything worse.
yeah. Of
You know,
course.
COVID, there's long-term effects.
Yeah.
He was
I just went to a funeral last Saturday
Yeah.
and he had COVID. He was left with 25% function in his lungs
Yeah.
and decrease in his heart.
Yep.
And that's what the COVID did to him.
Yep. It lacks oxygen to your brain and your body. That's it.
I
That's what
told
we're
you,
worried about. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
I told you how nutsy I've been lately.
Yeah.
There is something funny in anything. So me and Teddy, the co-executive, we get in the car and Teddy said, we gotta call Jimmy, his cousin.
Mhm.
So Teddy gave me his phone, but that's an Android. It's different from an iPhone. So he told me how to get into contacts. So obviously Jay comes after I. I almost called the IRS on him.
I'm sorry, Susan.
I almost called the IRS on Teddy. I apologize, but oh well. Strange things are happening lately.
Last week, or it was the Saturday before, this one with Hal, I had a friend who was a doctor. He had just out of the blue, same thing. He was talking about chest pains and he was on his way to the pharmacy to get medicine. He's a doctor. He's a doctor himself. And he was on his way to CVS or Walgreens and he died on his way there to treat himself.
Jeez.
Yeah. I think you guys knew I had helped Claire move into his house. And his house was a sanctuary for cows. It was really cute. It's on a farm and everything. And so I went there and I helped him set up and things like that. And then I met his family, and the sanctuary is actually a part of an organization, a nonprofit. And I told him I'd be more than happy to help them out with it. So it's an opportunity for me because I could live there for free, take care of the cows and the chickens and the pig. I'm like, that would be so cute. But I haven't.
Is this the one where the pig died?
I'm sorry?
Is this the one where the pig died?
The pig died? No.
Yeah.
No, the pig is big, fat, and healthy. It's a potbelly. It's huge. It's really, really funny. Let me see if I can find it. I think I had
Yeah, I thought you said something last week. Maybe I had it wrong.
it. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I found it. Can you guys see my screen? I think you can.
Yeah.
Can you see the pig?
No.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me see what I can do. Oh, share. Let me see new share. Here it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But now I see it.
Big, fat pig. And the thing loved me. I mean, from the moment I met him, it was just rubbing all up on me and hit me with its nose. They have the roughest, ugliest skin. I mean, they're it's just like a pug. They're just so ugly. That's what makes them cute. Yeah, this is at the sanctuary right here. These pictures.
Hmm.
See, there's right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's the cows.
22 cows they have there.
Hmm.
That one I named Redhead. No, that's the one I named Redhead because it had just the top was red. The other one, it was like all over. They're so spoiled. Everybody was there feeding them all kinds of stuff. It was really funny. It's a big, you see how big the property is. It's I don't remember how many acres, but you could see, you could just keep seeing, like looking around. The property just goes on and on and on.
I grew up on a farm, so it brings back memories.
Yeah, that's my sister's. He had his first birthday last week on 11/10.
precious.
Little Deadpools, yeah. Okay.
That was your nephew, right?
Yeah.
He looks like you.
That's what my sister said. She goes, because I'm a twin. He's like, he looks just like you and Brian. And I said, yeah. But I mean, if he's tall, his father is like 6'8". He's tall. And I'm only 6 foot. But it's very cool. I was supposed to go see them, but I couldn't afford to drive down it because I filled up my tank with gas in my Jeep the other day and it was $75. And that's what I use for the month. I'm like, I can't afford to make a trip 3 hours away just to say hi. I mean, I love my nephew and I love my sister, but I can't afford to just get up and go randomly. And then, that's there and back. So she's like, I understand, she's not working because she just had the baby. Well, had the baby last year, but with COVID and everything else, she hasn't been able to work. And now she's getting back on her feet, but her money's got to go towards daycare. And that's so ridiculously expensive. So it's funny because I'm 48, she's 45. She never thought she'd be able to have kids, especially as she got older. And then she found out she's pregnant. Now here I am. Here we are. I'm almost 50 and I'm giving her dad advice of what to do with the kid. And, I tell her, I'm like, I'm so proud of the way you're doing things and you're doing really good. Her vote of confidence. It's so funny because I never think I'd be doing that with a 45-year-old woman.
Wow, so she was 45 when she gave birth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's lucky you didn't have Downs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really,
I
mean,
want to say lucky. I'll say blessed.
blessed. Yeah, well, it's still, and yeah, that's another realm. I worked with, you guys remember David, and he had Down syndrome, and he was in his 50s. He's still in his 50s. 50, now he's probably 55 or 58 years old.
Wow.
And, but anyway, back to my sister's son. He's advanced. He's already trying to talk and everything else. So communication barriers aren't there. And of course you have to, especially when you're older and you have children. At an older age, you got to worry about side effects, and she had a past with drugs and alcohol and things like that too. So you really, any parent gets paranoid to begin with, just having a baby. It just comes with parenting. But then when you have underlying issues that you're worried about, my sister has all kinds of major like anxiety and stress issues and things like that. And
Was this her first kid?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
She never thought she was ever going to have a kid. She never
Wow.
planned on having children because I'm not fit to be a mom. And next thing we knew, out of the blue, she's pregnant. I'm like, oh.
Wow.
Susan, you're glowing. Oh no, that's just the light behind your head.
It's a halo.
It's her halo. Now she has the funeral tomorrow. I was going to go there for that, but then I had to schedule 2 doctor's appointments, one for me and one for my mother, and they're tomorrow. Oh, I did them first, and then I found out about the funeral. I'm like, oh. I have 2 appointments tomorrow, and then I have 3 more next week, all before Thanksgiving. You know, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all for my mother. And then, oh, hello, I'm here. Did we scare you away, Jennifer?
No, no. I'm
Oh,
just,
I
hello.
thought
I'm
you were
here.
gonna go, yeah. I went, oh, gee.
No, not at all. I'm really enjoying it.
Cool. Yeah, we talk about like I've been, like I told you about my brain injury when I had the car accident, but I've also been a caregiver pretty much my whole life. Since I was 8 years old, I've had people in my family with disabilities that I've taken care of. I did EMS work. I went to school, got my degree in social work and stuff, and I've always just loved helping people. But that's what I was getting at, is that we stick together and we talk about our troubles. The calls are recorded. That's part of the presentation that I'm going to go over later when the guy gets on. But we help one another. If we need to vent about something or something's going on we need to talk about, we trust one another. And even though these calls are recorded, because this is a business, they're not shared unless I have consent from everybody on the call, because of privacy issues, HIPAA laws, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But
Even if one person objects, it doesn't get shared.
yeah.
That's so cool.
So if there's anything you want to talk about, you could laugh, cry, joke, yell. No cursing. We get fined when we start cursing. Every time we curse, it's a $1 donation to the nonprofit. So I'm always dipping into the pot. I slip up all the time.
And I donate every month, so I'm covered.
She's covered, she's covered her ass already. See, there I go.
Susan's muted and she's talking.
Yeah.
Unmute, Soup.
There
There.
you go.
I'm gonna see if I can do something about this.
What? Yeah, she muted herself again. You go to move your phone and you mute it, and then we can't hear anything you're saying.
Going to see if I could do something about the glare.
Oh no, I
Okay.
was just joking. It's fine. We can still see you.
Yeah, but I see me. It's hurt my eyes.
Hey, Michael, can
Oh.
I ask you a sports question?
What?
A sports question.
Yeah, of course.
How did you feel about the Pittsburgh game
Oh, I was pissed.
ending in a tie?
It screws up.
very rare.
It screws up the entire division, and it was against a team that sucks to begin with.
I know, it was
And
freaking Detroit.
I always say
They
that.
were 0-9.
Yep.
Like, what the hell happened?
Pittsburgh.
Sorry.
No, Pittsburgh. I've always said this. Pittsburgh plays to the level of their opponent. Like when they need to pick it up, they pick it up. But then when a team really sucks, they just lay back and act like, oh, it's no big deal.
Yeah, they don't show up.
Right. Oh, it was awful. It was so aggravating. But it
Well,
screws
the
up.
Bucks lost on Sunday too.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
they
that
didn't
was
even show up.
yeah.
But I did watch the Steelers Lions game. What the heck happened?
Mhm.
And I just kept watching because it went into overtime.
Mhm.
Crazy. How
Oh,
many football games end in a tie? When did that happen last?
yeah, I know. And it's funny because the quarterback for the Steelers that was filling in, I think, yeah, he's a rookie. And he goes, I'm not used to overtime because he's a college player. They don't deal with overtime in college.
Right.
You play until somebody scores. There's no ties. Oh, I was just going to make a joke because here we are talking about football and Jennifer's in Georgia and New England plays Atlanta tonight.
Yes, I am a Falcons girl.
Oh, and Atlanta's in the Bucks division.
Yep. AFC or South, AFC South. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
They
hate New
usually
England.
lose, but I still like them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, obviously, and so is Julie. But anybody like they had their great years. Everybody knows about the Steelers in the '70s, but in the '80s they sucked. So they were like the Jets. But then in '90 and '92 is when Bill Cowher came in, and they became this legendary team that they've been ever since then. But yeah, Atlanta's a hit or miss. Atlanta reminds me of like the Giants because they've got the talent and sometimes they're on a roll and they do really well. But I think that honestly, I do think that it's the coaching because the decision making is off and they
Right.
screw up the games that they shouldn't have.
Our entire division is a hit or miss.
That's true too. You have Carolina that's like that too.
New
Carolina.
Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta.
Yeah. This whole season's in the air. Everything about football is really like, who would have guessed, the Rams and San Francisco. San Francisco sucks this year too. And they beat the Rams, and the Rams are like one of the best teams in the entire league right now. It was just last week was just a whole week of like crazy upsets, which it makes good football. It's great ratings. But wow, yeah.
So you just bite your nails waiting for what's going to happen next.
It's entertainment. It's funny because I'm sitting here right over my head. I'm watching NFL Network right now as we're talking.
What game is on?
Oh no, I just watched the overview. Like it's
Oh.
NFL Network, so they talk football all day long. And when I'm sitting here, I'm just like, okay, unless there's
Oh, I see.
unless there's something on the History Channel, that's all I do because I love history and music and stuff. So I watch that. Let me get some more.
I just knew I wanted to ask you about the Steelers game.
Yeah, it's almost 1:00, so we burnt up the clock just chit chatting there. Good. Okay.
I'll be right back again.
For the warning.
Oh, good, I'm not muted.
So Jennifer, let me ask you something.
Yes,
Are you shy?
yes.
I could see that because you're the only person without a camera on.
I didn't know my camera wasn't on.
What's
I'm
that?
scared to touch anything because I'm liable to lose you. But I am shy.
No, don't be with us. Most of the time, I'm
Anyway.
in my pajamas or something silly, and I'm a business. I'm the CEO here, and I don't care. I like
We
everybody.
like
here.
to put a face with a name.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this on.
Okay. Don't be shy because I'm ugly. It's okay.
I look rough
shy
right
too.
now. I really do.
I have no makeup on, so
I don't either.
Took me a while to come on. I am real shy.
Yes.
nice.
Oh my
Hi.
God. Jennifer, you have a beautiful smile. What are you talking about? Look at that. Oh, that's awesome.
I look rough. But that's sweet. That's sweet. Lie to me.
Oh my God, no, look at that smile. I love it. That's the positive energy that we love so much.
Well, y'all have really gave me a lot of positive energy. I'm
Good.
really glad I found you. I can't believe that y'all been on so long.
Yeah. And you're gonna laugh. I mean, well, like it's just us. I'm goofy as shit. I have like I do like the presentations and I keep them formal in that way, but we chit chat. All of us talk to each other all during the course of the week. And when it's just like you become a regular here, we all just talk about anything. When we have like, unless we have new people, then I try to keep it all formal. But when it's just us, anything goes. We just talk about anything.
Cool.
And we really, honestly, we all consider each other like family. We really do.
Now, what days are this? What days are the meetings?
Every Thursday. And well, you're in Georgia, so it's at the same time as we do. It's every Thursday at 12 o'clock and then 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Except next week. No, next week.
Yeah, because next week's Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we used to do them more times, but it was kind of burnout because we do them at different times because of time zones, because we do get people from all over the world that get on the calls. So I eliminated we used to do one at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it was the same people. And I said, okay, we're going to do the 12 o'clock because people in England, like we had, or in the UK, like the girl that was on from Ireland before, it's 5 o'clock at night for them. So it's convenient for them. And then the one we have at 8 o'clock at night is good because people on the West Coast, it's 5 p.m. for them. And we have people from Australia and the Philippines that get on. And it's 10 o'clock on Friday morning for them. So it's convenient for them too. So, I mean, yeah, it's wonderful. We talk to people all over the world and it's random, but I try to keep it open so everybody has a chance to like laugh. Oh, what's her name? I always forget her name. Cammie. She's in Australia and she's Australian, but she's from the Philippines and speaks with an Australian accent.
Oh, wow.
But, man, she is just the happiest person in the world. She is always laughing about something. Even when she tells me she can't make it because she's going for treatment, she tells me that laughing. I'm like, I can never take her seriously. She goes, don't. It's okay.
And my mom, she used to get mad because I would laugh because even when I had seizures, I thought it was the funniest thing.
Oh my
She did
God.
not. She did not, but you might as well laugh, you know?
It scares the hell out of bystanders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they had issues with me where they thought I was having seizures, and then they put me on medication that was actually causing me to have them. But anyway, for the person that's having them, it's like you passed out and you woke up and it's just, you don't know nothing. You don't see nothing, you know?
When I had my one and only seizure, I was sitting at the dinner table. Next thing I knew, I was in the back of an ambulance.
That happened to me. Yep, that's exactly what happened to me too. Yeah.
Yeah, those kind. Then I started having another kind where those I was fully aware, but I couldn't like respond.
Mhm.
And I mean, I guess it's kind of like, you know, what's going on, you know, I mean, it wasn't just like, you know,
Yeah.
but I didn't hit every wall and everything either.
Mhm.
So.
Those are the silent ones. Silent.
Yeah, some people call them focal point
Yeah.
seizures.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
just stop and stare.
Yeah. It's like, what's a phrase that they use all the time? Like an aura.
Yeah.
Like they're in a fog. Yeah. Like Susan looks right now on her camera. It's a fog.
She's angelic.
Angelic. That's right.
That's like I have double vision. My second image looks like a ghost. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
like that's your evil twin. See, we laugh about things you shouldn't laugh about.
How am I now? No glare?
It's
It's a
fine.
little better.
Yep, you're good now.
Okay.
Your timing's perfect. Well, it's 1 o'clock.
Now, if my phone would just stay still.
Yeah, it kicks in.
You know what I want to have fun doing? I want
Yeah.
to see if there's a way I can figure out how we can all play each other in not Family Feud. What was it? Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
We
we
played-
did a trivia once.
Yeah, but I'm saying we could all play Wheel of Fortune together. That would be hilarious. I want to figure out a way to do that.
Don't tell me you're gonna be Vanna White.
The way
Hey, Jennifer, I may have missed this, but how were you injured?
My boyfriend, he beat both sides.
Oh,
of
that's
my
right.
head
I did hear that. I just forgot it. Sorry.
Yeah. The way I feel, I feel like I'm old enough to be Merv Griffin. That's how old I feel. The guy
And
who's,
I'm a year older than you, so what does that make me?
but I'm just beat up. My back.
Oh,
And I'm old
please.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm old. I like it.
I've earned every year at this point.
Jennifer, Julie and I are like brother and sister. That's like, we look like brother and sister. We look more like brother and sister than my sister and I do.
Wow.
Yes. We always have fun with that. And we're the same height.
Yes,
Wow.
I'm tall.
Wow. I used to pray every day to be 6 foot tall. Every day I would pray.
No, don't.
And I'm
Don't.
sure. My
You always
brother's
have to duck.
6'11".
I was 5'11", so in heels I was 6'4".
Wow. Wow.
Okay, guys. All right. Listen, now I got to get formal. Damon's in the waiting room. So I'm going to invite him and Janet back. So
Back
we're
to
going to get
normal.
more formal now.
Yes.
All right. Let me put the PowerPoint presentation on. Share. And then I'm going to go through an introduction, read through things, and then I'll introduce him as well. Where's that waiting room? Come on. There it goes. Julie, I'm going to mute you. Okay, so there's no issues there. Oh, I got to mute you, Jennifer.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we're still waiting. Let's see. Oh, there's Damen. Okay, and we have Janet. Hopefully hi, Damen. Hi, Janet. Oh, you're muted. It's okay.
Hey,
how
are you?
Good. I'm going to go in through the introduction and reading the things I was talking to you about.
Okay.
And then we'll get more formal into the chess matches.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to start just reading this off. Everybody on here knows who we are. This is recorded. Brainworks, ASBISG.org is the brain injury support calls that we have. Let me go into the slideshow here. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, there we go. Uh-oh, I can't see the whole screen. Let's see something. There we go. We're here as a peer support group for survivors, families, friends, and public education about neurological impairments and brain injuries. You do not need to be a survivor to be on our calls. Anyone associated with neurological issues is more than welcome to be on our calls. It's always open to the public. Our goal is to assist one another with our knowledge and experiences to help one another. Our calls to see times, topics, and phone numbers to call into are on our website, ASBISG.org. The Zoom meetings start at noon Eastern time and 8 p.m. Eastern time here in the US, which is 5 p.m. In the UK and 10 a.m. on Friday and in the Philippines and Australia. The most important aspect of our calls is to be positive, relaxed, and respectful atmosphere for each other. Oh, hit the wrong button. These are the important keynotes that we always have to keep in mind. Please prepare to be on time or early when the meeting begins. We should stay on topic with the conversations. We're honest and respectful to one another. We do not discuss politics, religion, or sex. Everybody has a right to their opinions, but those things are things that you just keep to yourself. Patience. One person speaks at a time, so it doesn't get garbled up and we can understand one another when we're trying to talk. So just a little pause when somebody's done talking to, add. The key is we're here to assist one another without any judgments. Sometimes we have people with speech impediments or they can't come up with the words they're trying to say, but we have to be patient with one another without judging each other. We're always supportive of one another. And again, this is a relaxing, comfortable, and honest place. We can just be ourselves. We are not therapists, although calls we have been therapeutic for one another. And of course, we have the face-to-face, one-on-one communication on Zoom. When we have the calls, and like we were talking before, with one of the ladies that are on here now, is please, at least give your first name and introduce yourself, because we're sharing intimate details of our lives, and it's just building a comfort zone for one another to be ourselves. The calls are recorded for protection of members as a business. The recordings are not shared without consent from everybody on the calls. And usually we do that at the end of the call after people discuss what they want. I'll go over and ask everybody if it's okay. Be consistent. Try to make the calls, often, so we can get to know one another and understand each other and be able to help one another. And yeah, like I said, it's therapeutic. Others look forward to keeping in touch with each other. We always have a positive atmosphere, so everybody, builds friendships and relationships together through here. Now, here's the timeline. I mean, we've been on the call for a little while now. We went through the introduction. We all said hi to one another and who we are and where we're from and things like that. And then, of course, is number 3, the discussion of the topic, which here we are. And we're about to get started on that. And then the last one is an open chat that we could talk about anything, or we could discuss things that we might not have missed earlier that we wanted to talk about afterwards. Okay, next one. And here is our chat for the day. Oh, well, we kind of did this already, but Damen, if you have any questions or when people want to talk, you can ask them to speak. I'm going to make you a co-host now, so you'll be able to, mute or unmute, things like that. If, to the best of my knowledge, you could do that on here. So anyway, we went over these things here, where we live, what brings us here, and we're all survivors. Let's see, it's important for everyone to introduce themselves so others are comfortable knowing each other and who we're opening up to. Okay. Say hello. Okay. We did all that. And here we are talking with Damen about playing chess. And when I was looking at his website, I was amazed about cognitive development. And all of us that are survivors and those of us that have medical backgrounds all understand how beneficial that is, especially the survivor is moving forward after the brain injury. So that's why I thought this was wonderful. I contacted Damen about doing this presentation with each other, so we can help, other people with brain injuries. And I'll let Damen take over and share his story about this, because he has experience, with someone in the community as well. And ironically, Damon, I wanted to touch note that Jennifer here is from Georgia. And if I remember correctly, Damon, that's where the gentleman you had helped out with was at. Right?
He was in Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana. Well, I was close. Okay.
That's cool. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for having me. I'm sorry I couldn't join the call earlier. I have classes going on at kind of the same time, so I had to break away for a moment so that I could get here and be with you guys today. But my name is Damen Fletcher. I'm a master chess player. I've been playing chess since I was a kid. I fell in love the first time I played chess, and I just haven't stopped playing since I was like 13 years old. I love the game so much that I've built a life around teaching the game, primarily to children. The game I've learned is it's just so impactful in so many different ways. I've kind of narrowed it down into two different categories, one of them being cognitive development, just building all of the critical thinking skills that you could even imagine, and maybe even more. Right? It's just an incredible tool to use for building cognitive skills. And the second category would be character development as well. All right. And we're going to be focusing on the cognitive development benefits of the game today. And, there's so many. I won't be able to go through them all with you, but we'll take a look at some of the maybe chess exercises that we do with children in order to help them build those skills. All right. I have found that introducing this game and some of the chess exercises and stuff that you'll see today at an early age, when, in children where their brains are still developing, when you introduce them to a game like chess, and especially with these activities and exercises that I'm going to introduce to you, it sort of speeds up their development. This is what I've noticed in the 15 years of experience that I have. It speeds up the development of their brain. So they become capable of processing information and analyzing information and making quick decisions faster, stronger, smarter decisions much faster, as a result of the exercise that they get from playing and solving the type of challenges that I'm going to share with you today. So I don't know if anyone on the call already knows a little bit about chess already. That may be possible. I'm gonna assume that you don't, just for those who may not know very much about chess. So I'm gonna kind of start and I'm gonna start teaching and challenging at the same time. I'm kind of gonna blend it today. So I'm gonna teach you one thing about I'm just gonna teach you about some of the chess pieces first. So,
Damon, I wanted to interrupt you real quick. I did
Right.
set this up so you could share your screen. So if you have something on here, Zoom, you
okay,
can
cool.
do what you need on here.
Yeah, I see it. Here we go. Yeah, I can see it here now. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's take a look at some of the chess pieces. This is the first one that I want to introduce to everyone. It's called a rook. You can see it in the center of the chessboard there. And a rook is like a castle or a tower, right? It kind of looks like a castle tower sort of piece. And it represents safety and security on the chessboard. So it's like a place that is safe for the king and the queen. All right, so just think of it that way. And each one of the chess pieces that you'll learn about, they all have different styles of moving around on the chessboard. It's almost like the Avengers, right? Each one of the characters on the chessboard has its own superpower, right? And it's unique to each one of the chess pieces. And so the rook's superpower is that it can only move up and down, right? These black dots that you see on the chessboard in front of you represent all of the squares that the rook could move to from the position that it's in, right? So it could move up the board, it could move down the board, it could move left or right as well. And it can move as far as it wants. It doesn't have to move one square at a time. It can move as far as it wants. So any of those squares, it could stop on. So there you have the rook, all right? Now, I want to pause for a moment because I'm going to share my other screen, and we're going to start doing an exercise together. But before we do this exercise, I want to share with you something that exists on the chessboard that's going to be helpful to us. Hopefully, everyone can see the entire chessboard on your screen right now, including the letters at the bottom of the board, A through H. And then we also have the numbers 1 through 8 on the left side of the board. Can everyone see those letters and numbers on your screen? Thumbs up, yes? Okay, cool. That's very important because these letters and numbers allow us to be able to communicate with each other about moves that we may be thinking about on the chessboard. So for instance, each square has its own name. So let's just pick one square. Let's pick this square, right? The one that I've highlighted in red. That square is called C4. And you know that it's C4 because you can kind of take the position of that square and look down, and you'll see the letter C at the bottom of the board, and then you coordinate that with the number on the left side, excuse the noise, and it's C4, right? It's C4. It's on the C file and the 4th rank. We call those ranks and files. So C4 is the name of that square. Let's do another one really quick. Let's try this one here. This square is called E5. Right, I'm gonna draw an arrow here. I'm trying to draw an arrow here. There it is, E5, there it is. So that is the E5 square. And again, you just look at the bottom of the board, pick up the letter, and then you just match that with the number on the left-hand side. So let's do an exercise. I'm gonna point to a square. I'm gonna highlight a square in red, and I would like for everyone to type the name of that square in the chat box. Let's do that. All right, here's the square. Let's do this one.
Oh, wow. Let me see. Where's the chat?
Okay. All right, I see the answers starting to pour in.
You mean where the, yeah, I was going to say. Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you for those of you who are dropping those answers in the chat box. Very good, Barbara Scott. I see you there. Very nice. Good work. All right, very nice. Okay, so if your answer was B6, if you were thinking B6, you are correct, right? You just look at the bottom of the board, you pick up the letter, and you match that with the number on the left side. And the correct answer is B6, and that's what all of you got. Very good. All right, excellent. So let me share with you the first exercise. This first exercise is what I call pawn mower. And we're going to be using a single piece, and we just learned the rook, so we'll use that one. And I'm going to be highlighting some squares here. Let me just go ahead and do that now. Or let's put the rook on the board first. Let's drop that guy here, and then let's highlight some squares there and there, that guy and that guy. Okay, so let me share with you how this puzzle works. All right, so we just talked about the rook, and now we know that the rook can move up and down the board, right? Like we saw in the previous diagram. It moves up and down, and it moves left and right as well. And so the goal in this exercise is to use this rook to essentially stop on each of the red squares, but you have to do it in the number of moves that you have red squares. So for instance, in this example, we have 5 red squares. So this means that the rook has to stop on each one of these red squares, but by making only 5 moves. You have to visit each square with the rook in 5 moves. All right, and so I'll show you the answer to this one, and then maybe the next one you guys can help me with. All right, so in order to do this correctly, and there's only one way to do it in 5 moves, believe it or not, you have to start by moving the rook to the A2 square, right? So that's the first move. If you do it any other way, you won't be able to visit every square in 5 moves. So A2 is the first square that you have to visit. And then you have to plan to move to the A8 square. Obviously, this is the only square you can move to from the A2 square, right? And then, of course, you're going to move to the H8 square. I'm trying to get my arrow on here. It's not cooperating. There it is. Very good. So the H8 square is after that. And then you're going to go down to H1 and then over to B1 after that. So this is sort of the path that you have to take in order to visit each square in only 5 moves. Okay, so that's the key. So we would look at a position like this and we would try to figure out how to do this, right? How do you solve this problem? How do you visit all of these squares in 5 moves? And we've just done it. So I'm going to share with you another puzzle similar to this, also using a rook. I'm going to put it on a different square this time, and we'll try to work on this one together. I'll show you all of the squares that we have to visit. Okay, so you see 5 red squares on the chessboard that we have to visit. And remember, the goal is to visit all 5 squares in 5 moves only. All right, so we're going to work through this together as a team. And you guys feel free to either raise your hand if you want to share an answer or an idea that you may have. But we have to find the first square to move to. And what I like to do is figure out how many options I have, right? How many options does this rook have in order to make its first move, right? So it could move up the board. That's one option, right? It could also start by moving down the board, right, to the E1 square. And it could also start by moving to A5. So that's 3 options, but only one of those options will lead you to the path of all 5 squares in 5 moves. So we have to figure out which one of these paths, which one of these opportunities is going to lead us to success, right? And so I'm going to make these disappear. Let's add these again. There we go. And so does anybody have any idea which square we should try to visit first? You feel free to unmute your mic and just say your answer, or if you prefer to type it in the chat box, you can type the letter and number of the square that you're thinking of.
Go ahead, type it so we all know what each other is saying.
Very nice. I love it. Typing it, that's probably a faster way to get your answers in. Typing the letter and number of the square you think we should visit first. We'll take a vote.
Yes.
All right, we got one for A5. We got one for E1. Very nice. Are there any other answers? Any other votes?
Oh, I just realized I screwed up.
Okay, good, good.
I'm analyzing myself. Yes.
So yeah, this
I can't see the
exercise-
letters.
Oh, you can't see the letters. Let me see
No,
if I can
so
help
if you
with
move
that.
him down, if you move the rook down, straight down to the red box on the line, that's one. Because I can't see a letter.
I'm gonna try and help you see the letters.
A,
Hang on a
B,
second.
C,
I may be
D,
able to
E.
make an adjustment here. Hang on a second for me. Is this helpful to you?
Yay!
Yay?
Thank
Okay,
you.
good, 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 good. Okay, cool. So now you can see the letters on the board, and feel free to type your answer in there as well.
Okay.
Okay, very nice. All right, so I'm seeing, let's see, A5, I see A5, E1, E5, I see A5. Lots of people say A5, so let's go with that one. I think we got 4 for A5, so let's go with A5 and see where that leads us, all right? So if we start at A5, let me get my arrow going here. Come on, arrow. Don't go gadget arrow. There it is. Rook to A5 for the first move leads us where? Where do we go from A5? Once we get there, what's the plan?
Down.
Down. I hear someone saying down. Very good. It's kind of the only way to go, right? You have to go to A1. It's the only move, right? To move to A1 if we're trying to visit all the red squares, right? So there's only one option there. Very nice. And where do we go from A1?
Cross to 6.
I'm seeing some answers being typed in the chat box. Very nice. Thank you for those who are dropping those answers in the chat box. I love it. Very nice.
Because you can only go up or down or left or right. So if you, yeah, it's like you have to stick in like a square type of atmosphere. So you got to go up or down. Yeah.
That's right. Up, down,
And
left, and
5
right.
moves.
All right.
And you said 5 moves. So you think of ahead of time.
That's right. You've got to plan the whole thing out. Very nice. I'm seeing E1 lots of times. Let's go with that. I believe E1 is the only square that we can go to from the A1 square, right? So we've made 3 moves so far, right? First move was to A5. And then we moved down the board to A1. And then we moved to the right. And that is to the E1 square. We're stopping on E1. So now we're at E1. But where do we go from E1? What's the next red square that we can go to?
E7.
Second.
Very nice. E7 is correct. We move up the board to E7. And then, of course, everyone, I'm sure, can see the last move we should make. It's the final red square, and it is on the H7 square. So we've just come up with a plan to visit all 5 of these squares in only 5 moves. Now, if we had done this any other way, right? If we had chosen any other path, it would not lead us to success. So there's only one solution, one correct solution to these problems. And it's a lot of fun to solve these. Now, these do get harder. We add more and more squares, and there's different types of pieces that you can do this with. But it's extraordinary to see just sort of the skills that you can build, the critical thinking skills, all the critical thinking skills that you can build in planning and just decision making and analyzing all of the options and so on and so forth. Would you guys like to try another one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's learn a new chess piece. All right, so let's learn a new chess piece. Let's look at the bishop. Let's look at the bishop. Let me share my screen here. And this is a bishop. All right, take a look at it. This is another chess piece, another, Avenger that has a different superpower than the rook, right? And if you can see the screen here, the bishop doesn't move like a rook, right? Rooks move up and down and side to side. Bishops cannot move up and down and side to side. Instead, their superpower is that they can only move diagonally. This is what we call this. It's a diagonal. It's almost like the letter X, right? The bishop kind of makes the letter X on the chessboard. What's interesting about bishops is that whenever they move diagonally in this sort of X format here, they have to stay on the same color squares. All of the squares that the bishop can visit are always going to be the same color as the color of the square that the bishop is standing on. So this bishop is standing on the D4 square, and D4 is a dark colored square. And so all of the black dots that you see on the chessboard, which represent all of the squares that this bishop could move to, they're all dark colored squares, right? So this bishop would only be able to move to dark colored squares diagonally, like you see in the diagram. All right. So the next pawn mower puzzle that we'll be looking at, instead of using a rook, we're going to use a bishop. All right, let's get started. All right, let me see here. There we go. All right, so I'll clear the board and I'll put the bishop on C3. And let's look at some squares that this bishop should visit. Let's go here, here, and here. All right, take
How
a
many
look at
moves
this.
can he make, or is it limited to how far he can go?
Okay, so good. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. The bishop can move as far as he likes, but in this exercise, you do get a certain number of moves that you have to solve. You have to solve the puzzle in. And that number is always the same number of red squares that you see on the board. So in this example, we have 5 red squares, which means we have to visit these red squares in only 5 moves. So that is the number for this exercise. As as we get more practice with these, they do get, you get more squares, you know what I mean? In order to make it a little bit more complicated. I mean, I have exercises like this up to 18 squares. So they get really challenging, And as you get better at it with practice, trust me, you will build that muscle so that you're able to solve even the most challenging puzzles. It happens really quickly. All right, so let's take a look at this one. We're going to do the same thing that we did last time by just sort of dropping our answers in the chat box. I think that works very well for everyone to participate. And again, I like to start by just sort of thinking about which squares the bishop could visit first. And so we'll start there. There are only 2 options here. We could visit B2 square first, or we could visit the F6 square first. These are the only 2 options, right, to visit, right? And so you have to figure out which one of these first moves will lead us to being able to solve the challenge of, visiting each square in only 5 moves. So I'll make these disappear and I'll drop them back on again. There they are. All right. So drop your answers in the chat. Which square should we visit first?
Let's say,
Oh, I'm sorry.
can't see the letter. He said, the magnifying glass.
Okay, very nice. I'm seeing a few different answers. Everybody's got a different answer for this one. It's cool. I'm seeing B2 as an answer. I saw F6 as an answer, and I saw G7 as an answer. The bishop would not be able to, it's important to understand that the bishop would not be able to visit G7 first, right? Although that is a square that we would have to visit. In order to visit the G7 square, it would have to stop on F6 first before visiting the G7 square. So that would not be a first move, although that is a square that we have to visit eventually.
Is there actually a correct answer?
Yes, there is a correct answer. I would never give you a challenge that does not have an answer. All right, very nice. Okay, let's go with B2. Let's start with that one. Let's see where that leads us. All right, let's just see where it leads us, see how we do here. If we start with the B2 square, all right, where can we go from B2?
You can go from B2 to F6 after that.
Very nice. All right, so if we go up to F6, where can we go from here?
You only have
G7.
1 book. Yep, G7.
Very good. We can go to G7. But there's a problem here, right? We've made 3 moves so far, and we only have 2 moves left that we can use. And yet still there's 2 squares that we haven't visited yet. And unfortunately, it's not possible to visit those 2 squares in 2 moves, right? So we would have to make an additional move in order to visit those squares. So we're kind of stuck on the G7 square, right? We're stuck there without another red square to visit. And so that's sort of the problem with starting with B2, right? If we start with B2, it leads us to a dead end where we're stuck and we don't have another red square that we can visit. So you want to try to avoid that problem by just sort of looking at all of the options first and then choosing the best one that leads to success for you. So I'll put these squares back up again, and let's try a different answer. There are some different answers in the chat. I see the move F6 as our first move. So let's try that one. So if we move to the bishop to F6, does anybody see where we can go from here, and keeping the goal in mind, of course? Where should we go?
Then you go to G7.
Now G7, very nice. I like that. Thank you, Barbara. Very good. G7 is the correct answer, but where can we go from here?
B2.
Very good. We get to double back. Doubling back to the B2 square.
yeah.
Yes. Doubling back to the B2 square leads us down the path to success. And can you all see the finish from here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. So we're going to go to the A3 square next. And I'm sure everyone sees the fifth square, which is D6. Very nice. So we visited all 5 squares. It took us only 5 moves to do it. And that is the plan, right? That's the plan for execution for the bishop. Very nice. All right, good. So this is just one exercise that I wanted to introduce you to. Like I said, they do get more and more challenging. I have hundreds of these that I can share. But let's learn a new one. Let's learn a different exercise. Yeah, let's learn another exercise. This will be cool. This exercise is one that I call Domination. I call it Domination. It's fun. And the goal is to, let's see, we're gonna play with 8 queens. Now, queens on the chessboard are different. Let's look at a queen and let's learn how the queen moves. Let me pull up my queen. There she is. All right, everyone take a look at the queen. Look at that. The queen in chess is the most powerful piece in the game. She's very strong, right? The number of black dots that you see on the chessboard in these diagrams sort of lets you know how powerful a piece it is, right? The more black dots you see, the more powerful that piece is. And the queen is the MVP. She is the most valuable player, right? She is the Kobe Bryant of the chessboard. She's very strong. All right. And what you'll notice about the queen is that she can move just like the rook, right? She can move up and down. She can also move side to side on the chessboard as well. But she can also move like the bishop, right? We just learned how the bishop moves. It moves diagonally and on the same color squares. Well, the queen can do the job of both of the pieces that we just learned all by herself. This is true in life too, right? The queen can do the job of 2 men by herself. She's super strong. Okay, so this is true in chess as well. You can see it play out beautifully on the chessboard. So up and down, side to side, and diagonally for the queen. All right, she's very strong. All right, let's pull up the chessboard and let's learn a new exercise. Let's see here. There it is. Okay, cool. So this exercise requires sort of some teamwork, right? We're going to be working as a team here. And let's see, let's make 2 teams. Let's make 2 teams. Let's see, we need a team 1 and a team 2. Let's see, let me just take a look here. Okay, so I noticed that we have lots of names that start with the letter J. That's Jennifer, that's Janet, and Julie. So we're gonna have some J love over there on one team. Jennifer, Janet, and Julie will all be on team 1. All right, so Jennifer, Janet, and Julie are all on team 1, and everyone else will put on team 2. All right, so that would be Michael, that's Susan, that's Barbara, and Lynn. You will be on team 2. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool, let's do that. Okay, so the goal in this exercise.
Sorry, can I interrupt for a second?
Of course, sure.
please. Can you be on our team?
That would be totally unfair. Someone has to officiate here, so I'm going to refrain just to keep it fair. That would definitely be the winning team because I'm very good at this particular exercise. I love it. All right, that was pretty funny. Okay, here we go. So team 1 is going to play with the white queens. All right, so these are the white queens like this, right? And team 2 is going to play with the dark colored queens, the black ones, right? So the goal here is to place a queen on a square. You can put it anywhere you want on the chessboard for your team. And you have to put it on a square where it would not be captured or under attack by the opposing queen. Let me show you what I mean. So if white placed the queen, let's say on the square C5, right? It would be team 2's turn, and team 2 would need to find a safe square to put a queen on. But if team 2 placed the queen on H5, this would not be a safe square since we learned how the queen moves, right? She can move up and down, she can move side to side and diagonal. Well, this would be an unsafe square because the white queen could capture the black queen by moving side to side, right? So that would not be a square that you would want to put your dark colored queen on. Instead, you would want to put it on a square, maybe G3. G3 would be a safe square. Because if we look at how the white queen can move up and down, right? She can move side to side like this, right? And we can visualize the queen moving diagonally as well. I'm dropping all the lines on the chessboard. And you can see that the dark colored queen is safe from the white colored queen, right? The dark queen is safe from the light queen and there's no problem. So this would be a good move. And so now it would be white's turn to place another queen on the board, and white would need to choose a square, a safe square, right? A square that is safe from the dark colored queen, right? And so if we placed it on a square like B8, this would be a problem, right? You can see the problem, right? The dark queen.
Good morning, everyone.
Excuse the interruption. There's like. Okay, cool. Sorry about the interruption. There was a big announcement. I didn't want you guys to get disturbed. So this dark colored queen is attacking the light colored queen in this example. And so this would not be a safe square. You want to avoid placing your queen on a square where it could be captured by the opposing team's queens, right? And so you would want to place it maybe on D1. That's a safe square. That would be a safe square for your queen. Okay, because the dark colored queen can't capture it. Does everyone understand this exercise? I hope that I'm being clear. And if not, it's okay. Just let me know if I need to explain. A little shaky. Okay, hopefully it'll get clearer as we begin the game. I'll keep explaining, and hopefully the examples that we see from some of the teammates will make it clearer. All right, so my J3, the J3s. All right, let's hear from you guys. Let's put a queen on a square. Can someone pick a square? You want to drop it in the chat? You can drop it in the chat. Pick a square to put the first queen on. It can be any square you want. There's no wrong answer in the first one.
8E.
E8. Okay, let's drop it on E8. All right, so team
Doesn't
1.
she look pretty?
She looks beautiful, yeah. All right, she's gorgeous on the E8 square. And so team 2, you're going to be placing a black queen on the board, but you have to make sure that it's not going to be captured or is not in the line of fire from the white queen. So pick a square that is not covered by the arrows that you see on the chessboard. All right. And you can drop your answers in the chat as well.
Okay.
Okay. I see a couple of answers already. G7 and B7 are in the chat. Both of these answers are correct. All right, so the queen could be on B7 or G7. Both of these are correct. Let's take a look. B7 is here, and that is a safe square. G7 is also a safe square. I'm gonna go with the G7 square. All right. Let's go with that. I'm seeing more votes for B7. Let's go with B7. All right. So B7 is a safe square. And now it's team one's turn again. So team one, you're going to have to look out this time for the squares that are covered by the black queen. She is here and she is doing a miraculous job of covering all of the following squares here. All right, so make sure that you are not in the line of fire. Drop your answer in the chat box.
I think the other J's should choose because I made such a bad job of that.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. This is the
good.
first time. This is our first time doing this exercise, so it's totally okay to experiment and try. Even if you're getting it wrong, you learn from the mistakes that you make, so it's fine.
I have a goofy question.
Go ahead.
Can the pieces move more than one space?
Oh, yes. So the queen can move as far as she wants in one direction, right? So for example, this queen can move all the way to the A1 square if she wants, and she could move to any square in between as well. All right. But she wouldn't be able to move to A1 and then up to A5, right? That would be two moves.
One move.
Not in one,
Right.
one turn.
Right. Only one move for her.
Mhm.
All right. I see an answer in the chat. D6. We try, and in chess, we try to put the letter before the number. So I want to make that clear as well. We try to add when we're naming the squares. I see 6D in the chat box. We usually, as chess players, we make an effort to put the letter first and then the number, and it's helpful to the players to see it that way because we're so used to seeing the letter first. So D6 is an answer in the chat. Let's find out. Oops, drop the queen there. All right, D6. Let's see if that's a safe square. Is that square safe? Everyone take a look at the position on the chessboard.
Yeah.
Is the D6 square a safe square for
No.
the white queen?
No,
No, I hear some yeses. I hear some nos.
no.
Let's take a look
Yes.
together. Let's take a look together. I'm going to highlight all the squares that the dark colored queen is guarding. And let's just take a look and see if the D6 square is safe.
It's
All
safe.
right. Yeah, it looks
But
safe.
how does it get from point A to point B? It's not diagonal or
So the dark colored queen could move diagonally, both ways, right? These are the squares that this queen is covering. Those are diagonal, right? That's another diagonal this way. And it could also move left and right as well. So I'm just highlighting all the squares left and right. And then it could move up, right? And it could move down the board as well, right? So these arrows kind of give us sort of a guide to sort of visualize where this queen could go if she moved.
I think I'm thrown out because there's two queens and two
Yeah.
white queens.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah. So the white queens are friendly, right? So they're on the same team. So you don't have to worry about the white queens attacking each other. They're okay. You just want to avoid being in the line of fire by the opposite colored queens.
Like
So
you
the-
wouldn't want to go to G6 with the dark queen because then right right there you get each other from either angle. Right.
Yeah, G6 would be a bad move. You don't want to put that queen on G6. She's getting
But you
hit by
go to,
both
like,
queens.
G5 would be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, G5 is okay. The queens are missing you on the G5 square, so you're totally safe on G5.
I think
That's good.
Michael has played before.
Oh, I've never played before.
So this is a fun game. Very good.
I think I'm just screwed up by seeing two of the same color.
Oh, I see.
I
I
can't
see.
get.
It can be challenging
I'm
sometimes
like,
to keep
okay, whose turn is it?
track
Why are
of both.
there two?
Okay, very good. Okay, cool.
I'm-
There's kind of a block there.
It's a brain injury moment.
I hear you. I hear you. It's cool. It can be kind of challenging to kind of keep track of all of the queens on the chessboard. And that's exactly what this exercise does. it helps you to manage multiple pieces of information at the same time, right? So if you're just looking at one queen, it may be easy to sort of see and visualize what that queen can do. But as soon as we start adding more and more queens on the board, it gets more and more challenging to keep track of what each of the queens can and cannot do. And also where these sort of lines sort of intersect and connect with each other, it's a lot of information to keep track of. And so that's a pain point for you, Barbara. I'm hearing that. Very good. So this is an exercise that's going to strengthen that muscle. So you don't want to run away from this exercise. You want to dive in.
I have trouble blocking out stuff that's not supposed to be there.
I see.
So
It's cool. No worries. So this is an exercise that I believe would benefit you, right? And we would start very slow and we would just work our way up to, managing, keeping track of multiple queens, multiple pieces, on the board. We would start with just 2, right? We just start with 2 and we see if we could do that. And once we get good at 2, then we would do 3, right? And then we do 3 and then you get good at that and we just keep leveling up. It seems like a lot right now, but I promise you, you would get really good at this for sure. You can do it. Okay, let's see. Okay, Michael is adding some advice. You got to take your time, right? Moving one move at a time instead of seeing it like a web. Yeah, very good.
Right.
That's good advice. Yeah, taking it
yeah,
one
because
step
I
at a
didn't know
time.
which one we were working on moving.
I see. Well, here, let's see. Well, let's add one more. It's Black's turn, right? So it's Team 2's turn to add a queen to the board. Now, this is going to start to get challenging because now Black has to look out for 2 queens. There are 2 white queens on the board that you have to be careful to avoid the line of fire of those queens, right? And so I'm going to do you the favor of highlighting the squares that these queens are attacking, right? I'm going to highlight them in red. I think that'll make it much easier. I'm starting with the queen that's on E8, and this queen can move down the board. Right, so we've highlighted all of those squares going down the board. What else can a queen do? Why don't you guys tell me? What else do queens do?
Left, right, up, down.
Very good. Left and right as well. Very nice. So let's go to the left. We have red squares there. And let's go to the right. Very good. I heard diagonal. Very nice. So we could go diagonal this way with that queen. And we could also go diagonal the other way with that queen. Very nice. So that's the queen on E8. But now we have to add the squares that the queen on D6 is also guarding. Right? And that queen can do the same thing as the other queen. Barbara's shaking her head. I hear you, Barbara. It's getting tough, right? Managing both of those pieces of information is a challenge. But, let's keep going. Let's not stop. Let's keep doing. You can do this without a doubt. I already know you can. All right. So let's do the same thing with the queen on D6. Let's look at all the squares that she's guarding as well. She moves up and down, right? So that queen is guarding these squares going down the board, right? She can also move left and right as well. All right.
There's only one move she can make.
Okay, good. And then we can move diagonal also with that queen, all right? So all of these squares, look at all those red squares that are guarded by these queens. It's a lot, right? It's a lot of red squares. So the goal for the black team is to find a square that is not guarded by the red queens.
G4.
G4 is a safe square. Ooh, let's highlight that. Let me find another color. How about green? Yeah, G4 is definitely a safe square that we could put a queen on. Does anybody see any other squares that we could, safe squares to drop a queen
Oh,
on?
white.
Look at Barbara. Look at you. Okay, good stuff. G5.
Well, there's only one black. So.
I said G5.
G5 is another square. Very good. G5. I didn't hear the last one.
G2 and G1.
Very good. 2 at a time. Look at you. G2 up, G2 and G1 are both safe as well.
Yeah, C1 through 4.
Look at Barbara.
And it's only because the red's on there.
That's okay. That's all right. It's no big deal. sometimes we need a little bit of help to visualize this, right? The more you see these types of diagrams with the information diagrammed out in color for you, the more you'll be able to do these in your head. All right. Sometimes it takes this. Anything else? Anybody see any other squares?
A7.
A7. Yeah, that's another safe square. Very good.
There's the numbers. There's a lot of them still.
There's a
I'm
lot of
getting
them.
I can go, yeah, I
Yeah.
can name them all. Wait.
It's basically all of the squares that are not highlighted in red, right? If it's not highlighted in red, then this is going to be a safe square for the Black Queen. So I'll go ahead and highlight some of the other squares here. We've got lots of squares that we can highlight here in green. All of them are safe.
And now it looks like Christmas.
That's true.
Very nice. So the red squares are like danger squares. I highlight them in red. These are squares these are dangerous squares, right? There's a little bit of danger there because the white queens are attacking those squares. But the green squares are totally safe. The first one that I heard was G5. So let's choose that one, G5. It is a safe square and it's guarded. It's totally safe on that square. All right, very nice. Good stuff. All right. So this is an exercise that we would just continue, right, with the team. Do you guys want to do one more?
Okay.
Sure. Let's do another one. All right, cool. So it's team one's turn. So it's the fabulous Jay's turn, right? And we're going to be dropping a white queen on the board on a safe square. And this time you all have to look out for all of the squares that the Black queens are attacking. All right. So remember how the queen moves, right? I'll highlight some of these squares now. Right, the queen on G7 can move side to side like so. She can also move up and down. So you want to look at these squares, right? Right. And she can also move diagonal as well. Very good, Barbara. I see you moving diagonal. Very good. There she is. And there's another diagonal. Don't forget, it's a smaller diagonal, right? A shorter one, but it's still a diagonal all the same. Now we've got the queen on G7 on the board. Barbara, help me find the squares that the queen on G5 is attacking.
Five.
The queen on G5 is attacking squares as well. But what squares is that queen attacking? What squares should I highlight in red?
D3.
Did you say D3 or E3?
Yes.
I didn't quite hear you.
D. D is in dog.
D3. Okay, D3. So D3 is here. I'm going to highlight that in a different color. It's blue. D3 is actually a safe square because when the queen moves diagonally, she has to stay on the same color square. And D3 here is a light colored square, right? And so this queen can only move diagonally on the same color as the square that she's on. So D3 would be incorrect, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I want you to take a look and see if you can find another square.
I have a headache.
Yeah.
A
Making my head
headache in the
spin.
square. Here's the arrows on the board. Take a look at these arrows. Let's see, I got one more arrow that needs to pop up here. It's giving me a little trouble. Why are you giving me trouble with this arrow? It's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, take a look at the arrows. I've highlighted all of the squares that the queen on G5 is attacking with the arrows, right? And so the red squares, the squares that should be red, are the ones that are in alignment with the arrows.
What was the question?
So we're trying to find, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find all of the squares that the queen, Barbara's shaking her head like, oh my goodness, it's so much. I know it's a lot. It is a lot of information. And you know, it's it can be a lot of information to cover. And maybe this exercise is something we should work up to, you know?
All of it takes practice.
It does. It does. It does. So I've highlighted in red all of the squares that both queens can move to. It's a lot, right? That's a lot of squares that these queens are attacking. And team one needs to find a square that is not attacked by the two black queens.
Do you guys understand the question now? Well, honestly, it's where what he was asking, where could the dark queen go? That's D5. And the ones that are highlighted,
Oh,
that's where the question originated.
It's a
Where-
I
white.
thought you were talking about it's not the J's turn, no?
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah, so anywhere that's not highlighted is where J can go.
Mhm.
D3
Mhm.
safe.
D3 is safe. Very good. D3 is a safe square for
B3.
B3 is another safe square. Very good. B3 is a safe square. Oh, that should be green. B3 is a safe square. I've taken the red away now. Let's see if you can find another square without the red squares. Can you find another one? We have two so far.
You can go to C4.
C4 is another one. Very good.
Actually, I can keep going.
There's a lot, right? There's
Yeah, there's a lot.
Go
There's
E2.
quite a few. They're just hard to see, right?
Yeah,
E2,
E4.
good. Very good. E4, very nice.
And here's E6.
E6 is also safe.
And you can go away from the others, like B1, C2.
Mhm.
Okay.
One, C2 is safe. A6 is safe.
F1.
F1 is safe. F3. H3. Oh, you can't go to H1.
No.
Yeah, you can go to H1.
How?
H1 is also safe. How about this square?
How would you go to H1? It's
You could drop a queen on H1.
Okay.
Remember, we're placing queens on the board,
Okay.
right? On safe squares.
Okay. I'm thinking
Right.
about moving the ones that are already there.
Right. So this is an exercise. There's a lot of squares. So this is a tough, more challenging one. This is a more challenging one for us, right? It's cool. It's good to know, right? It's good to know which of these exercises are more challenging than others. But I'm just sort of giving you guys an idea of the types of exercises that we have that could potentially help you, right? I have probably 100 different exercises like these. They vary in difficulty. Some of them are easier than others, right? This one was a little more challenging than the last one, right? I did that on purpose, though. I wanted it to be just a little bit more challenging for you, so it's supposed to be. But just to give you an idea, there are more things that you can do with a chessboard and chess pieces than just playing the game, right? Playing a game of chess there's 32 pieces on the board. It's extremely difficult to keep track of all 32 pieces, right, on the board, with each piece doing different things and things like that. It's very, very difficult to do. It can be really challenging, but we can isolate the pieces and do smaller activities and exercises with the pieces that isolate the skills that you need, and we build those skills separately so that when you're able to and feel comfortable, you can try playing the full game with all the pieces once you get to that point, and you'll do a much better job at that. So yeah. There you have it. So that's just two of the many exercises that we have.
Mhm.
Does anybody have any questions about these at all?
Mm-mm.
No, everybody's good?
I think it's wonderful. it's good, like a motivator to exercise your brain. And I think it's like I play pool, and the same thing, it's the same strategy is you have to think 3 shots ahead of time and you prepare. What's your move going to be, the consequences of each move, and where's it going to get you after that?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now I've kind of, I've been doing kind of a speed lesson with these, but I do offer these, private lessons where we work one-on-one together. And this is what I'd recommend for anyone interested, is just setting up a private lesson. This allows us to be able to move at your pace, right? So I'm not moving, faster, or I'm not giving exercises that are, too challenging or anything like that. Private lessons is the way that we sort of customize each exercise and lesson specifically to meet your own personal needs. And so that's what I would like. That's probably a better, scenario to create for yourselves, because everyone has something different, right? Another, pace that they want to work, different exercises that are beneficial to you. And so that's how we meet that need, is by doing a private lesson. So I do offer 45-minute lessons. They're $50 each, and they're pretty easy to sign up for if you're interested in trying some exercises like these that might help you build the skills that you need. You can do it on our website. I could drop a link in the chat box if that's the easiest. Is that the easiest way to drop it, Michael?
Yeah.
Drop it in the chat. Okay, let's do that. I'll find it here. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm gonna have to go in a moment so that I can get to my next class. They're already in the classroom waiting for me.
Yeah, I know we're running a little later today. Yeah.
Cool. No worries. All right, I am getting the link ready for you now.
I'm going to go to, thank you very much for the lesson, and thanks to everyone. It was nice to meet you all. This is Janet from Ireland saying goodbye.
Hi,
Bye.
Janet.
Thank you, Janet.
Touch.
Have a good one. Okay, so I've dropped the link to the private lessons page on our website in the chat box. If you click that link, it'll take you to my calendar where you can see all of the days and times that I'm available. And you can just pick a day and time that works for you and schedule your first private lesson there.
Is
All right.
there, is that the same rate for anybody? Because I know a number of us are have to budget because of where
I can give a discounted rate for you guys. I don't have that discount set up at the moment.
Okay.
But Michael, if it's okay with you, I can email you a promo code that anyone can use to sign up. And I believe the discount is, I believe it's like a $10 discount. So from $50, it goes to $40 per session.
Okay.
Okay. So we can do that for you. So I will email you that tonight. It's going to be late because I have a lot of classes to teach, but tonight I will email you that promo code. It'll be something like, I'll just make it Brainworks.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
That's something easy to remember. The promo code will be Brainworks after today. And so you can sign up using that promo code and get $10 off your private lessons.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Wonderful. Thank you, Damen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
All right,
you so
everybody have a
much.
great rest of the day.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That was neat.
I told you it's intriguing.
Yeah.
It
Fry
was.
my brain.
It's funny
I'm busy.
because like the day before I saw his commercial on TV here, because it wasn't a commercial. It was a part of this TV show that talked about this amazing guy that was doing it for people that live in the hood, about teaching people to get off the street and do, how to be productive and thinking properly and making correct choices. That's what this whole thing was about. And I saw it and I always laugh because I'm a very competitive, person. I love pool and stuff, like I was saying before. and it's strategy. So I went and I looked at, I downloaded a game on my phone to start learning how to play chess. The day before I saw this guy on TV and I said, what are the chances of this? And then I went to the website and I saw about cognitive development. I went, oh my God, I got to talk to him because, that's what we're all doing. Everything's about teaching your brain and thinking and processing and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it'd be really, really cool to do this. So I know it's a little pricey, but once you get the ball rolling and the moves, like what does what, then all it takes is you could do it on your own time and get practice. And it's trial and error, just like anything else. Okay, you learn from your mistakes. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I don't know squat. That's what I was saying. I don't know anything about chess at all.
Yeah, I used to play before.
Yeah.
But
But
now, like when you started throwing.
yeah, I'm learning what moves do what. But I'm really interested because it's not only, it's great for our brains and things like that, but it's exercise, brain exercises, but it's strategy, it's building confidence.
Yeah,
Thinking, planning. There's so many different aspects of it that are really, really good. I had an image that went over the details of that. I can't find it off the top of my head right now. But it talked about on his website that's on the link that he shared. It shows it. I'm looking for the tab. All of a sudden, I got the sun's. If you guys can see me,
Yeah.
right in my face.
Guys, I'm gonna take off.
Yeah.
I have to use the
Bye.
restroom. I
Bye,
have to use the
Julie.
restroom.
Okay, Joel. Thank you. Hon.
I'll see you guys at 8.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll check.
Is he coming back on at 8?
Yeah, he's going to be on tonight as well, but hopefully he doesn't make me wait again another hour.
Well, he probably shouldn't have any classes that late.
Well, it's not late for him. He's in
Well,
California.
that's true. He's California.
Yeah, if you look at chesstrain.org, you could see the different things of how it benefits development and things. So it's really, I love learning and whatnot. So I think
it just threw me off when you started adding queens. It
well,
really,
yeah. In a normal game, you don't have a lot of queens.
no,
You have
and
one.
that's what messed me up.
Yeah, you have one queen. But he was talking about troubleshooting and trying to. I understand what he was getting at. Yeah, because I don't know what one piece is versus what another piece is. I know the king and queen, but I didn't know who all the other all the other
Pieces.
are. Right, that's what I was looking for.
I knew the Rook and the Queen because when I was a teenager, I had this friend who was into chess, and I think at the time, I gave up after a while. He even gave me a Bobby Fischer book, but whatever happened to that? Bobby Fischer was a famous chess player.
Yeah, I know the name.
At the time, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, huh?
There's a movie that you guys can watch. It's on Netflix, I think, too, but you can even see it on YouTube. And it's amazing. It's intriguing. And that's what got my interest in it. It's called somebody's got a big mouth. I got a new tenant that's right behind my room here. I think it's called The Queen's Gambit. I'm gonna look it up right now. But I watched the movie and it's a really, really cool movie. And they talk about this little girl who learned as a baby, Queen's Gambit, learned as a little child how to play chess, and in a private school. It's a nice complicated movie, but it's really, really a cool story. And ever since then, I was like, I'm like, we all know what chess is, but when a lot of us never learn how to play it, I was like, this is really, really, really wild. Because you're talking about the time frame about that was, I think, the 60s and 70s. And it's a male-dominated sport, like most sports were back then. And she came in and just took control. I mean, she really just kicked the crap out of everybody, even these arrogant men that, were really, really good. But she got them. It's a really cool movie. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I thought it would be cool. I thought you guys would like that a lot. And he's funny.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I just feel like I can't keep up sometimes.
Well, that's why I put in there is like everything's about taking your time. And like one move, and you're thinking in your head, if I do this, what's going to happen next? And then okay, that won't work. And that comes with confidence, is the trial and error part, going, you'll learn your lesson. Okay, I can't do that. Let's do. And then when you start doing the routine, that's when you start being able to like kick someone's ass at it. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of the whole thing. All right. Well, it's now 2:15. We've been on for a long, long time. So I'll see you guys tonight. I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I enjoyed meeting everybody.
Thank you for coming.
Bye,
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
You're our new friend. You're our new friend, Jennifer. Don't hold out on us now. Now we're going to look forward to having you here.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing y'all.
All the time. Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, honey. Thank you, guys.